I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Welcome to the Bigbone Yard. Enter at your own risk.
And it's all kinds of people over here. Hey, what's up? What's up? And happy Monday to y'all folks. Boneheads all over the place, man. Hey, welcome to the Bigbone Yard, y'all. And I gotta admit, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I remember distinctly, I don't know, about a week ago, Archbishop said to God and everybody, we'll be back in 7 days. And then I think it was yesterday, he was saying something like, man, I don't even like them boneheads, man. I have 4 of them cutting my front grass, and the dude that was painting my house, he's a bonehead, and he missed the spot. And all right, I'm wrong, but it's actually 8 days instead of 7 days, but that's okay because it's a Halloween thing. So it's a Halloween thing. Hold on, where's the Halloween thing?
It's a valid excuse.
It's Halloween, so we had to do it because that's scary to do it on a Monday instead of a Sunday. Anyway, but for real though, man, thank y'all for joining us again here on the Bigbone Yard. And as always, you got myself, Bigbone 1%er. Got the man with the plan, Mr. Archbishop up in the house.
What up, bro? What up, bro?
AB Diamonds. That's the thing, it's happening. And Mr. Mike Ball.
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys having me.
That dude right there.
Shoot, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We love having you here, man.
No, it's an honor, for real. If you guys don't know, it's hilarious how many people don't actually know, but I've been watching the Boneyard for years. I mean, it's been since the round table, actually. So since then, since the very beginning. So I've been a fan for a long time.
Man, I'm telling you, I dig that all over the place. Because, and I'll tell you another thing, because we were talking about this in the pre-show a little bit, but there's a lot of folks that we come in contact with, that we find out about and so forth from doing the shows, and even back in the magazines, which I still do magazines every now and again. But it's you get in contact or hear from different people who watch, or they're a fan of this one or a fan of that medium or whichever. But it's very cool to meet those people in real life. But it's even more cool to see, that projection, or that what do they call it, projection or trajectory or whatever, as that person gets involved in this side of it, because
right.
See, you're legit in the sense that you're doing your club thing, you got patched up, you were a prospect at one time, you dealt with club politics, you dealt with all of this kind of shit that we talk about. You've been through that, you even had a nasty ass accident, lived through it, thank God.
I did die 4 times. I did die 4 times, but I survived. I came back 4 times medically. I died.
And now and quit doing that, by the way.
Yeah, now I gotta have bubble wrap around me, I guess,
But the thing is, you're here, we're glad about it. And actually tonight's show, so it's 1 year ago to the day, we did this show that had another LA native, Dagon Pac. So Pac was with us a year ago today. It was me, Archbishop, and Pac representing LA, even though he was in North Dakota when he did it. So now we got you a year to the day. We got another LA native who just so you're in LBC instead of LA, the same shit.
Right.
I figured.
No, it's all LA County. That's all LA County right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the same.
Hey. Snoop Dogg. That part, hell yeah.
Hey.
That's
Getting
what
drunk with it.
DJ.
In there.
Yeah.
DJ AB Diamonds up in the motherfucking house.
Yeah, what up, though?
Since you're talking about LA, you know what I mean? Let them make him feel at home.
Hell yeah.
That's right. It feels great. Feels great to be on.
But so going back to that show, which we're going to delve into that in just a little bit. But so that's to give you an idea about the kind of sort of direction that we're going in, a little something. But having said that, I guess thing number one is y'all don't believe this, but we actually did shit over the matter of fact. So last week, crazy, did a lot of stuff, and we've got some video that's going to be coming out here really soon, no later than the next show, but possibly during the week. Shit, I'll say about me. So last week, doing all kinds of biker shit, pounding the ground. After the last show, you know, there was like meetings, COC stuff, ABATE stuff, you know, getting out, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies, or is it shaking the babies and kissing it? Something like that. But doing all of that type of shit. Then shot up to PCB, Panama City Beach. We did Panama City Beach. And freaking then came back. Then we did, what was that? Or last night we did the COC board meeting. Anyway, a lot of good shit, right?
That's a lot.
Shit, running a lot, you know, and the bike's acting right. And so the secretary from the COC, this dude, when I tell you, without meaning to do it, he flexed hard in the motherfucker. He got that. What's that bike he got again?
Yeah, that Indian.
Yeah, it was the Indian.
Is it those brand new
Challenger?
ones?
Not the Challenger, but
no, I forget what he said that was.
It's those brand new bikes. They look like baggers.
It's the one that's like it's a bagger. Not the fixed fairing, but the other one.
Right.
Oh, this one.
I'm trying to remember the name of it too. I'm a Harley guy at heart, so apologize to everyone out there.
So Risky, if you're watching, we're talking about your ass. If you're watching, you know. But yeah, it was cool. And I'll tell you, but yeah, Panama City Beach, that shit was straight fucking fire. Miami was up there with me. We fucking hit the beach, like the water part of the beach, and you know, went all around town. And when I show you all the video, some of the video from that shit, you're gonna straight fucking trip because there's some wild shit that happened. Accidents, cops, bikers everywhere.
There's always some crazy shit.
Yeah, it was fucking lit. But in the meantime, having said all of that bullshit, AB, how was your weekend, sir? And we got to throw in the day too a little something, you know.
You know, man, the weekend was all right, but you know, I mean, yesterday I was with your ass, you know. And said that day before that, hell, I was at work taking care of some shit, moving around a little bit. I didn't get in until late because I was running the street. But yeah, man, it had this one little bike night thing I hit.
I was going to ask you about that. How was that joint?
Oh, it was cool. It was cool. I mean, I didn't stay there a long time. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Just kind of went in, hollered at a couple people, sat there for a minute, dip, you know.
Yep. I know those types.
Yeah.
Sure.
5 minutes in and out.
Shit. I think what happened, was that your first time going to that bike night?
Yeah.
You what do they call it?
You know what? I don't have that in front of me. Hold on, I have to find it. Hold on.
I know those bike nights for sure where you just pull up and you're like, man, all right, this is cool and all. I'll say hi to a couple homies, but that's it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not about hanging around all the time.
Yeah, that was one of them dip in, holler at everybody, dip out. You know what I mean?
Yep. Shake some hands.
Shake some babies. I mean, yeah, no.
Whichever way it goes, you know what I mean? We'll figure it out one of these days. That's right.
For shit.
Yeah, it was like a thing. It was a bike night, but it was like a like a breast cancer awareness. They had all that mixed in with it too. Um, but it was over in Lakeland
Yeah.
at the Collab Pool Hall. Yeah, but it was nice though. It was cool.
That's super cool.
Now,
Then
see,
dipped
now, what we do know, we did discover through biker research, a great deal of biker research, that Mike Ball don't do shit on weekends,
That's right.
and people are talking about that. But we rumor had it that you might have actually did something over the past 3-4 days. What, if anything, was it?
No, man. For me, if anything, man, if anything, it's been a lot of videoing. You know what I mean? A lot of filming, a lot of joining in, not only on my own show that I do on Sunday, but for instance, even this morning, I was on Black Dragon's show, but behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And he popped me in there for a sec or whatever. I didn't even care about that, but it was, hey man, it's like a blessing to just hang out and enjoy and hang out with everybody. I'm in the chat anyways, so it's like, shoot, I'd rather just be able to talk to you guys right here, right now. You know,
Right
Get
on.
the chat.
So, let me ask you a question, just off the subject, but I've thought about this a few times. So, since your accident, and the reason I'm saying
Talk all about it.
talking about it, but since the accident, it seems the thing I've been wondering about. Hold on, we're not going to take the call just yet. Hold on 1 second, folks. We're not going to take a call just yet. My question, I guess, is, since your accident, has that changed the way that you think about or look at it or interact with the set?
Oh, that's a good question.
You're like the most positive motherfucker that I know.
No, I appreciate that. We're supposed to be a good influence when we're up here, and that's the one thing is it's not just when we're up here, it's when we're outside in general. You're supposed to be a good influence, right? You're supposed to be representing yourself to the best you can. And also, if you're a part of a nation, you're going to be representing your nation to the best that you can possibly, you don't want to be the lame guy,
right? Right.
But it's definitely changed my perception from a few things. I found out a lot that I'll put the main priority in this is I saw more monetary value in things rather than like looking at the basic needs and necessities of life.
You're saying
what
that
I mean?
before or after? You're saying?
Well, before I was more focused on more of like, let's say, getting a nice car or an exotic car or doing exotic motorcycles, whatever. I had some pretty crazy toys that I kind of spent a lot too much money on, and those are things that unfortunately you kind of learn, and probably through my young years too, obviously. But once I lost my leg, went through this accident, it definitely changed my perception because when I went down and I looked at myself bleeding out onto the ground, like as it was happening, I said, if I survive this, I have to accept this now. And when I did say that, I legitimately accepted it. So when I got into the hospital and they put me through the first rounds of surgery and all that stuff, and I woke up with a smile because I actually remember all of that because I never went unconscious.
Oh yeah.
I never went unconscious. I remember all of it. It's not like I forgot it. I was watching it all. I never passed out. So when I saw that happen, when I woke up, it was like, man, it was just natural to go, thank God I woke up, because I literally was saying my goodbyes to myself. It was pretty radical, man. It's deep.
I'll tell you, N. Nelson is saying right now, he says, positive is an understatement. A mentally tough young man who doesn't look for a reason to fold, even when it's staring him in the face. So he's talking about you, brother.
I appreciate that.
That's
Nelson.
what's up.
Thank you. I appreciate that comment.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, though, and I didn't mean to, go all up into it.
No,
but,
you can. Absolutely.
Your story is a deep and interesting one that I think a lot of folks, as they understand, just to paint the picture, the worst, like one of the biggest fears that people have is, oh my gosh, what if this happens? And God forbid it should happen.
Right.
But you took something that is the thing that folks are most afraid of and said, fuck you.
Absolutely.
Where's my fob? I got a ride to do. And
Exactly.
you didn't do it 5 minutes after, but the fact that you did it is a big fucking deal. It's a
I
big
appreciate
fucking
that.
deal.
No, thank you, man. That was the biggest thing is all the surgeons and all the doctors I talked to, the nurses even. I mean, the nurses actually were more pissed off at me than anybody. But I would tell them, I'm like, listen, I'd rather be able to ride again than walk. Like, I'm gonna ride. And they're like looking at me in the hospital while I'm like trying to not die. And they're like, dude, you know, do you really want to do that? I'm like, yeah, what of course. That's of course what I'm gonna do. And then so once I physically like I barely could walk out there. Like if you watch the whole live video of me riding for the very first time, I rode for the very first time 28 days out of the hospital. So once I did that, you could see me walking off of the motorcycle. Once I get off, I get handed a cane to be able to walk off, you know what I mean? Because I could barely, you know what I mean? But I was like, I have to do it. You know, I have to conquer this. And then it was just every day I just kept putting in seat time and riding with the club.
So here's the crazy shit. You did just say 28 days after you went in the hospital, you left.
I was in the hospital for 27 or 28 days, and it was like almost the exact same. When I came out, it was the exact same time that I was in the hospital.
You know, I never liked your ass because I asked you not to come on here and show me the fuck up. I asked you that shit, and then you do it 28 days.
Yeah, 28 days, man. And and everyone looks at the leg thing like that was like the biggest issue. Everyone forgets that my whole scapula, my whole shoulder was gone. This whole thing was gone. My whole left side was gone. You know, they had to rebuild and restructure this whole thing. It's all plates, and I got like 6 5-inch screws that are going into my back here. You know, it's pretty wild.
Well, you know what it is I think it's the psychology of it, like psychologically speaking, that's that thing that you can see with your eyes that you hear people talk about, even when they describe, oh, what if you go out there and break your leg? You didn't break your leg, you actually lost it.
Right, right.
So that's some wild shit, man. But look, we dig having you here for a lot of different reasons, and your story, you know, your story shapes who you are as a person and all like that. But it's more important the way that you got through it and how you bounce back from it. That's the amazing shit to me, because, you know, I don't mean to be all cavalier about it, but a lot of people get fucked up on a motorcycle. A lot of people, when they live through it, it's a number of people who say, fuck it, I'm not ever doing that again. You was like 28 days later, you're looking for the keys. You know, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's you have to, man. Like, you are never defined on the way that you fall down. You're always going to be defined on the way that you pick yourself back up.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Right
like,
on.
Nobody ever goes like, oh yeah, he plummeted, but then he went to straight success. No one talks about that, you know? Right. I mean, everyone goes through ups and downs like that, you know? But what happens to you doesn't define you. It's how you react to it. It's we can't control what happens outside of my own being, right? I can only control myself. So if I control my own habits, my own self, then I'm going to be bettering the world in its entirety just by doing it.
Right. Okay. Right on. Well, shit, man. Well, I'm not going to ask you no more about your weekend because it goes in weird directions and shit.
It can go all twists and routes. It can.
Yeah. So, and one of these days, I swear, one of these days, and I'm not trying to kiss your ass or nothing, but one of these days, I'd love to pick your brain about this a little bit more. But in the meantime, let's see who's giving us a call right quick. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling the Big Bone Yard. You got Bigbone 1%er, Archbishop, and Mike Ball on the show. And I'm going to pretend like I don't know who this is, but I know who this is because of modern technology.
You know exactly who this is, Big Dog. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Archbishop, what's going on, Big Bone? Mike Ball. Man, that I had to call in and emphasize on it real quick, brother. Thank you for joining the panel, man. I'm sure you're gonna drop some more gems tonight. But you said, if I'm not mistaken, you just said that when you were hurt and you got out of the hospital and you were building yourself up, getting back on your feet, your brothers rode with you. right?
That's right. That's right.
You
They
got-
did, and they
you got-
were deep as hell, man.
Right. So that's what I wanted to hit on, man. Guys, prospects, man. New guys like myself looking in the clubs. When you're looking into these clubs, man, look out for shit like that. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's that B word that a lot of motherfuckers use, but they don't really play it out. Brotherhood. You know what I mean? Your brothers were there for you to help you get back on your feet, man. And you said every day, seat time every day. That's that motherfucking B word that a lot of these motherfuckers use, but ain't playing it out, man. And listen, I understand you're gonna have some hate and all this other stuff and listen, we're humans. You know what I'm saying? But guys, new guys, prospects, when you're looking into these clubs, man, please don't be patch chasing, man. Look out for that brotherhood, man. Look out for shit like that we just heard, man.
Yeah.
That's salute to your brothers, man. A lot of I don't mean salute to your club, man. Salute to your brothers, man. I have a lot of respect for what the fuck I just heard, man. And I had to call in and just, man, that was wow.
Wow, thank you. I'm honored that you would even call in and say that on air, first of all. And second, I do that hit the heart. I'm gonna take that home to the bank, and I appreciate those kind words, man. Yeah, what's kind of crazy about what happened during that whole thing is they actually flew me where the home of the club is, which is in South America in Brazil. And they flew me there, and we actually set a double world record. Biggest patch, or biggest club, one club, one patch, one pack in the world. We're the largest in the world right now. So it was all because I decided to get back on two wheels. And how radical to hit a double world record in one run.
The great thing about that is, there's always positives, and I don't mean to be the what's that thing, that negative Nelly or whatever,
right?
But and it's not even a negative thing. What your circumstances kind of did is something that, and AB has heard me say this before, and sometimes he used to give me like a funny look when I'd say it until I kind of explained it, and he got me and that was, I would say, man, sometimes, and I was talking about, fighting, controversy, that kind of thing. I'm like, hey, sometimes war is good for a club. Like, say what? And but what it is I'd say that what I really mean is controversy.
Yes.
Stuff that happens that causes people to either pull together, or you're gonna find out that they never will. And I've seen, like, in circumstances like yours, like in Cali, to be specific, I know a dude who went through a similar kind of a thing, not as dramatic as yours for sure, but he went through a thing, and I noticed some of his chapters, like, I'll be specific, Northern Cali could give a fuck less out of his club. They didn't give a half a damn. But Southern Cali, Utah, and Nevada, those chapters all was there for this one dude. They came together. And this is this is like 20 years ago, but I remember thinking, well, what the hell is up with them? Because they had like 8, I think, well, at the time it was 6 chapters that this particular club had in Northern Cali, and I knew this club pretty well. I knew a lot of folks in that club. I was like, well, what the hell's going on with them? And the stuff that I started hearing was, shouldn't have been hearing it because it was club business, but basically a lot of hateration, like a whole chapter in Sacramento don't like a whole other chapter in LA County. I'm like, the fuck? And I guess it happened, but what it did was it sort of exposed that, because them guys in Sacramento didn't have any reason to hate that one particular member who he hadn't had his patch for a year. He hadn't been around long enough for them to hate him because he did something. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing sometimes, because it'll bring a chapter. You're gonna find out real quick, who your brothers are and who's there just for the 3 Ps.
No, your facts. You definitely pinpointed right there. You're definitely going to find out, if you're, especially, you're going to find out who your brothers are when you win too.
Yeah.
And when you win, watch when, if they're watching you and they're celebrating with you, that's probably your brother. But the guy that's secretly off in the corner hating, that's the guy you got to watch out for. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it goes both ways for sure.
Oh yeah, so it's an education. It's like it's an opportunity to, of course, the celebration of this is what we're here for. But it's like Archbishop, he says this all the time. I get shit from him all the time. He goes, pay attention to what's not there, or like what they didn't say, or shit like that. He
right.
the obvious.
Read in between the lines, man.
Read in between the lines. Yeah. So like it's not the brothers that's there celebrating with you, but the one that's over there in the corner, sipping on his beer with a forced grin on his face.
That's right.
We're looking for what's not there. What don't fit. JB4K JB4K1 said Mike sounds like, and this is a huge compliment. I'm a Marine, so I dig this all over the place. But he said Mike sounds like a Marine in combat that get hit. Can you fight? Yes, sir. I'm still in the fight. And
that's right. No, we're still in it, man. That's we're never losing it. You got to kill me to get me off that thing. It's just
Jason
the way
Moskovitz, Jason Moskovitz says lost his leg, technically lost his life a few times, and his main thoughts throughout this whole tragic ordeal is, I need to get back on the bike and ride, and he did it. That's inspirational. So
Appreciate
I think the shit that you're saying, I think it just does. Mike House, big up, Bigbone, Archbishop, and Mike. And but yeah, man. So, but anyway, I guess at some point we need to go ahead and get on with this show because.
Well, I like actually what you brought up there is about how different chapters within an organization can actually, you can have haterade basically, as you kind of put it, and it's very true. And that club is not just unique to themselves. This happens across a ton of nations and most nations. Let's just say the majority, and it's very hard because I've seen it within my own shit. Just to be fucking real, you know what I mean? Because every club has gone through it. Let's just be real. And when you see that, you're like, all right, man, like it's up to us to better ourselves, or it's up to us to put this in a whole war, try to separate us, or they're going to end up patching over, doing something stupid. Why don't we come to some sort of like agreement where we're supposed to be men here? Why can't we sit down from the table and talk to each other? But why instead it's like this, like, I'm just not going to answer your text. Like, how petty is that shit? I'm not going to answer your calls. Like, that's lame, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you can't handle that. That's pretty radical. You want to play tough guy, but you can't handle the phone. That's crazy.
Or they block you.
Oh yeah.
I've had a few that block me. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. Me too. Matter of fact, the same dude blocked both of us.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
You block real.
Yeah, that's crazy. You block a brother like that. It's like, dude, what do you even mean?
Bishop what do you even mean? Look, Archbishop, we was talking about a thing one day, and he said, yeah, man, I went to call so-and-so so we could talk about this thing that we had to talk about. And this motherfucker blocked me. I didn't know this motherfucker blocked me. I said, so this me, I'm Bigbone 1%, goddamn it. I'm like, don't worry. I'll call him.
Yeah.
Bigbone 1%. I call him. This motherfucker blocked me too. I'm like, the fuck? Just made all my special feelings and shit go right out the window. I'm like, damn.
Oh, shit. Love it.
Motherfucker, he blocked a lifer and a Bigbone all at the same time.
I got blocked for some shit that I wasn't even involved in. I ain't even had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, how you gonna die and get shot over something you had nothing to do with?
Like,
I didn't know why I was blocked.
Yeah, what the hell's going on here?
It's like, how you gonna get fired on your day off, Craig?
Yep, that's exactly it. Friday. Yep.
But yo, I'll tell you
how I feel about that shit though is that once you block me, keep me fucking blocked.
I was about to say the same thing.
Don't call me no motherfucking more, none of that shit. Like, while I'm blocked, keep me blocked.
Right.
That's
don't come with that female bullshit.
And you done got in your feelings and you done took me off Facebook, you done unfriended me and shit, and then you turn around 6-7 months later and I see you on my fucking post. On my phone, man, are you fucking serious? I didn't know
That's that whole shit. Hold on, let's catch this call, but you're right. That's that whole shit. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling. This is the Big Boneyard. You got Bigbone 1%er, Archbishop, and Mike Ball. Who is this?
Hey, it's Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider from Charleston, West Virginia.
Oh, what up, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Great show, man. Oh my God, man. He ain't got my nephew. He was like, oh man, he into it. He was listening and shit.
How old is your?
Say,
is your nephew old enough to listen to all the profanity and cussing words that Mike Ball likes to use?
That's right.
Because
there's that.
I was concerned.
His ass was in there.
I was concerned.
Up, man? I love y'all, man. What's up, Archbishop?
What up, boy? What up? You good?
What it do?
Hey,
yeah, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just sitting.
Hey, Black, you know how it is, man. You know a country boy can't survive down here in Florida. You know what I mean? I gotta do what I can.
I know. Hey, that's right, country. That's right. I got a shotgun and rifle, and yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, Hank.
Man, I'll tell y'all.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say Archbishop is his fault because he done made me push the button in my head to make me remember some shit. Y'all remember Y2K? When the world was supposed to come to an end because it was 2000 and the computers didn't know how to add a zero or some shit, right? And
I remember that.
Robots were supposed to take over the world and all that shit. So I had the brilliant idea because this was it was in 1999, and I was married to my first wife. And so, by the way, if my first wife, Queenie, if you're looking, fuck you still, just in case. But her ass was nervous about going to the damn about the robots taking over the world and all this shit. And my parents had a ranch in North Carolina, so my parents were going to go to the ranch, and all my brothers and sisters, everybody's going to the fucking ranch because out there it's in the country. A country boy can't survive, even though I'm not a legit country boy. But I do know how to, I can kill and skin a deer.
That's right.
And they got plenty of them. I'm like, well, shit. We're going to go up there. So we go up there to for Y2K, like on December 29th or 30th or whatever. So we all start showing up. And my brother and I, all of a sudden, we want to be fucking Daniel Boone. So we're drinking all night. And after about a bottle and a half of some good Jack Daniels and some other shit, we find ourselves it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, sitting on my mother's back porch. And my brother had a 50 cal Desert Eagle in a strap, like a holster that goes across your chest this way. But he's got this shit. And I got 2 9mm, not rifles. I got 2 9mm because that's what Jack said I needed for them deer, not a rifle. This Jack Daniels told me, goddamn it, I'm going to hit the Yosemite Sam type shit.
Still with him too. Fuck
it. Right. We gonna get us some deer. So we're out there drunken motherfucker. Which kids don't try this at home, kids. But so anyway, we're drunk as fuck and decided to shoot the one extremely elusive damn deer that popped up in the tree line, only to have our mother come out there and beat the shit out of us like we was 12 years old all over again. But that's why whenever I hear that song or somebody say a country boy can't survive, I get triggered like a Vietnam vet going by a Chinese restaurant. It shit fucks with me, So y'all dudes ain't good for my head, man. Y'all be doing shit to me.
That's right.
I got issues.
Hey, you have to if you're gonna be a bonehead, right? You have to somehow you gotta have some crookism. You gotta have some crookism in you. You know what I mean? There's gotta be something
wrong.
You gotta be crooked some way.
Shit, man.
Well, man, hey, I ain't gonna hog up the airtime or nothing like that. I ain't gonna hog up the airtime, man. Hey, brothers, y'all keep. I'm so glad y'all doing what y'all doing, man. And your dad, Mike is. I believe I got the name right, man. Man,
Mike Ball.
Yeah, okay, Mike Ball, man. Brother, man, hey, I tilt my hat off to you, man. Because that I'm really into what y'all talking about. This is some deep shit, man. That's why I love y'all, man. Here's some real knowledge. I'm so glad I found y'all, man. Because you just don't understand. Because a lot of things y'all be saying, man, I'll be like, it's so I'm absorbing it. I'm listening, but you can't learn everything in one day. I know this.
That's right.
It's like a master in Shaolin Kung Fu, But I ain't gonna talk y'all's head off, man. I'm sitting here, sitting here sipping on some liquor.
Oh, right.
Hell yeah.
But
no, I appreciate the kind words, man. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart, man. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. And I'll talk to y'all later,
Absolutely.
and Archbishop.
All right, now. Thank you. Right. I wanted to piggyback on one thing that he did say, and that's so, and we kind of talked about this a little bit up in Panama City Beach, and then touched on a little bit and the COC board meeting last night, and that's this is that the thing that I know for me and Archbishop anyway, our thing is we don't get no money from this. We do this thing because we believe in getting the information out there, like educating some folks. But guess what? The other thing that and AB, I want you to pontificate on this a little bit yourself, sir. But the thing is that the number one thing that you're gonna hear us go back to a lot is you can definitely get good, solid information. A lot of it is to discount that bullshit that other motherfuckers are saying it's just not true, and they be leading people down the wrong path and all like that. We'll talk about that another time. But the thing that we're always going to come back to is get on your ride your shit, talk to some people face to face, find some of these gray bearded motherfuckers, pick their brain. You see Archbishop out and about somewhere, you go up to him, and after he punches you in the face a time or two for interrupting his conversation, you might actually be able to. No, I'm just playing. No, but for real, get out there and do the shit in real life, because we ain't on here but a little bit every week. So that means you got 6 days and 23, 22 hours left out of your life to get out there, ride your shit, and do it for real. Do it for real. So when you come back another time and you're in the comments, you're saying, hey, here's what happened to me. Matter of fact, something happened. I got a question about such and such. What was it that I just saw?
Right.
So now we're having a conversation.
Lies and manipulation always seem to make money, right? So that's what ends up happening is that it unfortunately in the world that we live in, people are way too focused on negative shit. I mean, look at what people consume every day. Look at what they're consuming. Like what we consume, like it's just like food, man. If you're processing nonstop negative bullshit nonstop, I promise you're probably going to feel it. You know what I mean? If you're starting to watch some stuff about like how to become a better whatever, you are in your field, or how to become even just a better man, how to become a better person, how to be, all these things. And then you start listening to, maybe instead of spending so much time watching Instagram lives, I'm going to focus on interesting documentaries.
Right on. Hey, Archbishop, if you can catch this call, sir.
Yeah, this is Archbishop, Bigbone, and Mike Ball. Who we talking to?
Oh, this is Skinny.
Oh, what's Skinny? How you doing, brother?
Well, I've been talking to Bone. I want to give a shout out to Archbishop and say don't hang out with Bone too much. You might get you arrested.
That only happened once.
Yeah, I heard that. When I heard that went on, I'm like, man, what'd you do to him? What'd you do to him?
I'll tell you what. The funniest impression I've ever heard was your brother imitate that officer. I think I just wanted to give a shout out to Mike too. Thumbs up. I had to relearn how to walk again, and everybody told me I wasn't going to be able to ride. So, just my hats off to you, man. And really, if something I saw just the other day, and they didn't know what it meant, and I was going to give a suggestion out talking about people wearing things they shouldn't wear.
is broken wings. People like Mike who went down and recovered and got back up on his bike. If anybody earned broken wings, it's him.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate that.
But there's people wearing those things that think they just look cool, and but it's him who earned it. So I just wanted to give.
Damn, that's heavy, bro. And thank you. And listen, you said that you touched on something real quick. You said that you had to relearn how to walk again. You know, when
I pieced my face back together, and I'm uglier now than before. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
but they gave me a 12%. Listen, they gave me a 12% chance after all the surgeries were all done. They gave me a 12% chance that I was going to walk again. And I said, fuck you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's just, I wasn't going to take no for an answer.
He was hard-headed. He felt like, well, fuck it. If you're saying 12% chance,
well,
I'll just ride.
That's the funny thing about the whole thing.
Well,
dude,
you know, we can't lose brains we don't have in the first place. So.
That's right. There you go. Facts. No, yeah, man, it's pretty radical, man. I'm blessed, and nowadays, you know, I wear shorts, believe it or not, every day since my accident. I think I've only worn pants one time. You know, unfortunately, a lot of amputees feel the need to like cover themselves because they're looking different than the rest of the world, right? So there's only a couple million of us, so within the entire nation. So what I like to do is I embrace that shit, man. And I have people tell me like, dude, if I didn't see visually, like look down and see, I would have never known that you had a fake leg. I would have never known because you walk so perfect. They're like, dude, we would never know. And I've had people at parties where we're all hanging out. We're hanging out in a circle, and all of a sudden, you know, one guy will see it, and then the whole match will see it, and they're like, dude, why didn't you say nothing? You rode on a motorcycle here? Like, yeah, man. Like, what's a big deal, man? Let's hang out and party, you know?
Yeah, you're showing everybody else that anything's possible, man. Good for you.
Cheers on that. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, well, Skinny, thanks for checking in with us, brother, as always. And we'll see you soon.
Y'all in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Skinny's going to be back in a couple of weeks. Hopefully with an attorney and a bail bondsman on a speed dial, just in case, because you know.
I really hope. I really wish you would have let me get arrested. I really do.
Yeah. So I think
I met my next ex-wife. So.
Yeah, I think Skinny said he's going to be hanging out with Archbishop when he comes back.
Right.
For legal purposes.
You really want my
Archbishop, I do have to say really quick, I stole your line a couple times. It's what you're not saying that I don't trust. You know?
Absolutely.
That's it. But yeah, hey, but Skinny, thanks for checking in on us, brother.
Yeah, be blessed, you guys.
All right, now.
All right, brother, take care. Be safe
out
there on that road.
Say what?
No, I was telling him to be safe out there on that road.
Oh yeah, he be getting it. I'll tell you. I thought of one thing that Skinny and I we did a show. What was it, like a week or two ago? And I forget what show it was, but we were talking about. I was saying, hey, if you don't know me, don't bro me. And I said we talked about brother and all like that. But anyway, so me and Skinny was talking about something, and he said, oh, by the way, he says, I called you brother twice and I didn't mean it. He goes, because I heard what you said on the show and da-da-da-da. And I explained to him, so here's what happens with that. And I still stand by what we was talking about, as in, if you don't know me, don't bro me. However, there's different occasions. Like, for example, if I'm talking to, he can be a citizen or a club member, and we was both in the Marine Corps.
There's caveats.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
He's my brother, but he's my brother from a different way. Now, I seen AB, if he's talking to another club member, either in our club or in a different club, and he refers to them as brother because he's a Mason, that don't raise an eyebrow with him or the other dude, because they know what they're talking about. Or if it's somebody like in the case of Skinny, Skinny checks a few of those boxes. One, he's now, if I'm talking to another 1%er, sometimes 1%ers from different clubs refer to each other. But they're talking about we're in a special fraternity, whereas that's something that we're going to do. We're the only ones that have that joy, that achieve that, that thing that we did. So we might be okay with calling each other bro or brother. The other one was what you call it? But back to Skinny. So Skinny, he's in the COC. In fact, that's where we met at Incom. So he's and being somebody that goes to an Incom doesn't automatically make you a brother, but he's an officer in his COC. He's a Christian and fucked around and became friends of ours. So if somebody's your friend, you can call him brother.
Right.
It doesn't go against, and most folks aren't offended by that. But if you're some dude that I meet in 7-Eleven and I was pumping on pump 6 and you was on pump 4, and you come over like, hey, that's a nice bike, brother. Maybe not. Maybe not. Like, you can call me mister, you can sir, you can call me motherfucker, but you ain't earned it.
Now here's the add-on to what you just said. Now you said the difference between a brother and a bro.
Right. Oh, yeah. Preach.
There is a difference.
Yes, sir.
Now,
ER is a difference, man.
Yes,
right.
sir.
See, I got 3. Now you got brother, you got bro, and you got bruh.
Right.
Right. Now, if you my brother, now this is somebody that I actually have respect for. You know what I mean? We are friends, but we're at a degree above friends. You know what I mean? Like I consider you a brother, like I consider my own blood brother to be my brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we got that special close attachment to each other that you know what I mean? Like I killed a concrete for your ass, you my brother.
Right.
Now, if you a bro, then you just, you like an acquaintance. You somebody that I know.
Yeah.
We may be cool. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, we are cool. So I'm gonna call you bro. Now, if I say bruh, I'll be like, what up, bruh? How you doing, bruh? Know this. I do not give a fuck about you. I'm just acknowledging you being here.
Yeah.
So just
yeah.
Because a lot of them will be like, hey, bro, how you doing? I'm like, what up, bruh? And move on. That's
It's
the
like,
saying.
shut up.
You speaking, but I really don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Facts.
And the reason why I do that is because of this. I hate faking the funk with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate putting on fucking airs. I hate people that's phony. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like you, I just don't fucking like you. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
But I'm not gonna come out and just flat out say, look, bruh, you're
a raggedy ass motherfucker. Yeah, you don't have to do all that.
I'm just gonna go by, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing, bro? How you
It's a dismissal.
doing? And then Muff will be like, hey, B, what up, bro? You know what I mean?
Yep, it's a dismissal, man. See you later.
It's
my whole term, like my whole tone changed, my whole vibe changed. It's like I can be sitting here like I see Bone, what up, bro? How you doing, man? We good? Yeah, man, we good. I see this one. What up, bro? What up, brother? What up? What up? And I get to this one over here. What up, bro?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Keep it pushing.
I'm being right, but I'm saying fuck you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know the difference. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because some people don't catch what you're saying to them. They just thinking they're saying bro, but you're not. You know what I mean? So you got to catch on to what it is I'm saying to you. Like, pay attention to what I'm saying.
That's what we call. That's those nuances that come from what I was saying earlier. Get on your bike, ride, meet some folks, shake some babies or whatever, hands.
He said, shake some babies.
I always get it confused.
It's the third time, so I'm surprised he's just catching it.
That's why they got mad at me in Tallahassee, because the senator, like, here's my daughter, so-and-so. I'm like, how you doing, kid? You know, and he got all mad. I'm like, wasn't that? It was on the brochure, shaking something. Anyway, but facts though, because what happens is those are those nuances that you learn what they are when you out in these streets, when you get on that bike and you ride and you bump the curb at this clubhouse, you go to that event or that bike night or whichever, you know, you're going to get familiar with that shit. You're gonna get familiar with that shit. And if you've been doing that stuff and you're not familiar with it, you might be the one.
Well, since we're talking about
you might be what up, bro?
The biker TV,
might be that dude getting that.
Well, there's a ton of the real life and the fake, right? And what's the difference between real life and fake?
Right.
And there's a ton of things that we can talk about that are in this regard. Whether we can go into protocol, we can go into so many routes, and it's very interesting that I just did a topic about brotherhood, and here's a real good one for you guys. How come is it every time a hanger-on is hanging around that a hanger-on will go, you'll go up to the hanger-on and be like, hey man, why is it that you're interested in our club? And you know what they always say? Oh, the brotherhood. The brotherhood.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always the same answer. How come it's never like what we do as an organization? How come it's never what we're focused on and what our drive is? What the actual mission statement is rather than what the patch looks like. You know what I mean?
Well, there's two things with that. And there's a whole bunch of things with that. The one thing is a lot of times your mission statement, the new guy has no clue what it is.
Right.
He should want to find out. He should want to find out what it is. But the new guy, he don't even know what that is. But if this dude has no clue about how you guys get down or how any certain club gets down, but he's saying, man, they got a lot of bitches. Fucking say that. Say you guys get a lot of bitches, or if it's that patch looks cool as fuck, I could always envision myself wearing it, then say that, but everybody goes with that. You're right. A lot of cats go, oh, brotherhood, really? And have no, and then, but I love to ask the question, really? Well, what does that mean to you? Like,
well, most people don't even get themselves vulnerable enough to become a brother. You got to understand there comes so many different levels, like Archbishop was saying. There's so many levels in it within ourselves, but being a true brother is a different level. Most people can't even understand that kind of moral ethic and code anymore. Right. That's almost a statement that's not even taught anymore, or not even wanting to be listened. Either way, it's hard to translate it to, let's say, my generation of people. It's hard.
Well, you kind of just took us to what our subject is supposed to be tonight. I was actually trying to get to a couple of these questions that came in, but while we're on it, so that's really what we're talking about is the differences between the stuff you see on TV and real life. And so, but having said that, what's in fact, let me ask you, Archbishop, with the way that real life TV and the show a year ago was about doggone OGs, like the masters versus the young guns. What's like a takeaway or something that you get that you see now that's real different than the way it used to be? And then what, if anything, can be done to, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Does it need to change?
You know what? I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that I've seen here in the past couple of years is probably the watering down of the actual traditions and codes that we live as being in the MC.
Okay.
I think that a lot of the actual, the actual code and how we did things back then compared to now, I feel there's no true guidance now. You know what I mean? Where you had before, where you had the older heads that was there that, and a lot of those guys was in the MC, 25, 30, 40 years. You know what I mean? That was actually sitting there telling you righteous shit. Where you have now, and when you came into the club, your goal was, okay, I need to get with these lifers. I need to get with these guys here because this is where I'm going to learn how to move. Now you got guys that come in here that's 21 years old, don't know shit from the hole in the wall, and they come in here and they like, oh, you don't got to tell me the shit. I got it. You know what I mean? don't want to hear shit, don't want to know shit. You know what I mean? And they think because they got the same patch that you have on, you may have 10, 15 years in, he got 2 weeks in, and he feel that he's your fucking equal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because he has that patch on, which is bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
that's one of the biggest misconceptions.
It is.
Exactly. Because if your resume ain't better than mine, you don't got shit to say to me. Nothing. You know what I mean? Now we can hold a conversation if you want to know some shit, but don't be sitting there like you trying to teach me something, because you can't teach me shit. You know what I mean? And then you got these quote quote leaders that ain't never led shit, and you give them a little bit of power, and they go way over their fucking head, and then they turn from this punk ass motherfucker to fucking Mussolini overnight.
Yep.
That ain't how that
wait
shit.
a minute. Now, wait a minute now, because you got to be honest, because you do know that when you get the patch, they're bulletproof, and they put
That's right.
invisible shield around you so that you can't get shot, you can't get your ass whooped because you got that patch. Everybody knows that. You get about 6 inches taller, and your junk becomes in force of mass destruction because you got that patch. Everybody knows that, right? Ain't that what happened?
Yeah, okay.
Thought it was something like that.
Okay, bro.
That's what they said.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. How many
In the brochure.
videos have you watched in the past year that they said a couple words that said "fuck around and find out"? How many times have you seen that?
Man,
what I mean?
we in Florida, we see that in person. Shit.
Some people need to let that shit recognize in their head, because you got to understand one thing. A lot of people, in these clubs, like, you got to think you have people in these clubs that was fucking gangsters before they got into these clubs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That was straight up fucking G's before they got into these clubs. You know what I mean? So if your ass didn't grow up in the street, and your ass wasn't out here fighting to fucking survive and shit like that, now you get into these clubs, and the first thing you want to do is start popping off some shit. Now, I'm gonna tell you, you have some people that try to be bullies. You have motherfuckers that are bullies. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking about me.
Know the fucking difference, because sometimes you can take these rags off and say, you know what? This is in violation of my moral code. You can have these. I'm gonna get in that ass right now, though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all go and keep this, but I gotta deal with this. Why? Because you always got somebody that's gonna try your fucking chin, and the only way that you gonna be able to settle this shit is to go in a fucking mouth. That's just what it is.
Oh yeah. Look, back.
People are going to treat you the way that you allow people to treat you. End of story.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
End of story.
The thing is that, so like this came up in a little powwow recently, and I was told the guy made the comment that don't trust that smiling motherfucker over there, and I realized I was the smiling motherfucker they were referring to, and there's one diamond holder from a different club went on to explain to this younger bro that last time he seen me do something real horrible in a situation, was a situation of disrespect, and the whole time I was doing what I was doing, I was smiling, giggling, and talking shit about it. Just is, because it's not personal, it's business. It's almost like, I'm a true believer in education, so I don't take educating somebody as a bad thing. It's a good thing to be able to educate a motherfucker, especially if you can educate your foot up their ass. That's always a good thing. But it happens though, and the thing is, guess what? That patch is not going to shield you, and that's one of those things I think that real life and real life versus biker TV, that's where it's different. I watched a video of Jackson Sons of Anarchy. Jack's dude, he came out of a store, him and one of his guys, and this sport bike dude was sitting on his bike taking pictures. He's like, "Hey, let me take that picture for you. Here, I'll do it." And he goes, and then his buddy goes, "One," and he took it. He goes, "One, what do you mean?" He goes, "And there's two." Bam! And he hit him in the head with a helmet. And he says, "Never sit on another man's bike, asshole." And now here's the thing: that was a blending of TV and real life. for TV, they had it written out in the script and it was all dramatic and everything like this. But in real life, it doesn't happen that often where somebody's going to be sitting on your bike. But I can promise you, in real life, no way it would have been that sweet.
No, people.
It would.
You sit on another man's bike like that, you're gonna have something pulled on you. You know what I mean? Like just start running, man. Just turn it on. Just hope that it's keyless or fobless or something. Let's go. That's your best chance.
Facts. Now I'll say one thing, not to debate or anything, but AB, you said a little earlier, you said that dude can't tell me shit. And which is true. I agree with that. My way of thinking is I like talking to some of these younger dudes so I can actually get a idea, especially when it's them motherfuckers that think they know everything. I love to figure out what the fuck is going on in his head. Mm-hmm. So I actually do learn from these motherfuckers. I'm just not always happy with what I learn about them, but I do learn.
You're a psychologist at heart, I see.
Yeah, I see that. My thing is I like to figure out like what makes somebody tick. And hey, if there's a way to redirect them, reprogram them or something like that, I love to, create the opportunity to educate a motherfucker. But then sometimes, no shit, sometimes the only way to educate them is with that foot in their ass. Seriously, sometimes some people learn that way, and
they actually learn that way. Yeah.
Like, Big Bone's a bully. No, I'm not a bully. It's just, I believe in, education. Even a painful one. Education shit. Sometimes motherfucker got to learn some shit. I'll tell you.
Let me say this right before you move on. But what you just said. Now, I agree somewhat, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I'm not saying that simply because he's young he don't know shit. I'm not saying that, because you do actually have some young brothers that actually got a head on their shoulders that actually know what they're talking about. And those were the ones, those guys there are the ones that actually was around and grew up with older people around them.
That's right.
Sure.
And they learned this stuff. I'm talking about the ones that did not do that, the opposite of that. The ones that you try to talk to, they'd be like, oh, I got it. That don't
hate that answer. No, you don't got shit, man. Don't give me that answer.
What you trying to do, even though you see them getting ready, you already see, let me break this down one more. Older guys that hung around, there's a couple things that you do. And one thing that I do a lot is that I always think 2-3 moves ahead. So if I do this, I already know what's going to go on. You know what I mean? And I have contingencies to go with the plan that I already got. Because if I see this go on, I'm going to do this. If I see this go on, I'm going to do this. Why? Because I strategize. I understand everything that's going on at any given time. So when some shit pops up, it's like I'm on it. You know what I mean? It ain't like nothing like, oh shit, I gotta think about what I'm gonna do next.
You already knew. You were three. You knew that 3 steps behind. You knew that 3 steps ago that you were ready for.
So when you try to teach these younger ones, okay, this is how you do this, but they don't want to listen. They're like, oh, I got it. And then exactly what you told them was gonna happen. Smack them in the face. Then they come talk to you. Those are the ones that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
I feel you.
Because when I came to you and tried to save your ass from smacking yourself in the face, what did you do? You rather smack yourself in the face than take some advice from somebody that's already been out here, that already done it, and already see what the fuck you getting ready to do. Those are the ones I'm talking about.
No, look, and I feel you on that. So I was I'm always having a conversation, but the thing came up of somebody asked me, well, what's the difference between generation X, Y, and Z? I'm like, shit, I didn't know there was even a Z. And I know a couple of 3 of these generational things. Like, for example, I know that I'm generation X. So I'm like, well, what's up with generation X? And because y'all motherfuckers seem to always y'all know every damn thing. You don't act your age. I'm like, act our age? I'm like, motherfucker, look, in my generation, we couldn't act our age because you was cooking your own food by the time you was 6 or 7. That's legit. The original latchkey kids was the Generation X motherfuckers, where we was coming home by damn self, cooking food, very little supervision unless you had an older brother and sister that wasn't out doing shit in their damn self. You know, we'd be out all fucking day. Nobody was worried about you. There was no text messages and phone calls, and you know, you didn't wear a helmet when you got on your bike.
GPS.
No GPS, you're drinking out of the water hose. And nowadays it's like these kids get their feelings hurt because somebody, and I still can't wrap my brain around this one, they were bullied on the internet and they were upset and they cried and need to see a shrink about it. All right, back when I wanted to, or when people wanted to bully somebody, if you wanted to bully somebody, you went to them. You went to their house or you seen them in school. You did that shit in person. You don't bully them over the phone or text message.
It happens a lot, and especially in Generation Z, for sure.
Yeah. So now it's like, you know, you got these motherfuckers who come from these watered down ass generations who want to come and, like Archbishop said a little while ago, we invented the fuck around and find out. That's the generation that several of us come from. And now with that mindset, and then you take, to make it extra interesting, you take some Generation X motherfuckers, throw them in the military for a minute, and then they get out and then throw them in a motorcycle club and mix all that shit together, and then wonder why it is that we have these issues where it's okay to beat somebody's ass for purposes of education, where you'll do that. And it's not, it don't raise no eyebrows or nothing else. You don't need to talk about your feelings after you done fuck somebody up behind being real damn stupid and disrespectful. It happens. Exactly. You know, exactly. Don't even fuck you up because that's just how we got down. So that's why I don't understand some of the shit that is trying to find its way into the set. You know, it don't make sense. But so we did have one question, a lot of great comments too. Like a lot of folks,
you guys in the comment section, boneheads, you guys are amazing. Appreciate you guys, every one of you guys. I see you guys.
Oh, they're on it tonight.
Last generation of ass whooping, though, right?
Say what? Say it again.
I said you do know that Generation X was the last generation that it was okay for your mom and daddy to beat your ass.
That's right.
After then, they started calling child services and shit.
Yeah, so, because the kid will start threatening. I'll call the cops on you. You know, the kid will say that to your. Fucking, I'll take you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, and that's why, like, people like the Generation X kids, our parents had a lot of kids in case they killed one or two of them. They still had some spares. You know, that's a fact.
I mean, so now, you know, Generation X was the generation when you walked in from school and your mama had them switches braided up sitting on the damn counter, and you knew. So you sitting there thinking like, okay, what did I do? Was it me? Was it them? Which one? You know what I mean?
Who's getting it?
You know, if you was the oldest, your ass getting whipped too, whether you knew it or not, because
no matter what,
you was there.
Them do it. You know what I mean? You was around when they did it, so your ass gonna get through. You know what I mean? So that's when you knew. Now after that generation fell out, that's when shit got sensitive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's when shit
got me fucking feelings.
I mean, Generation X kids was hard as nails because they got their ass whipped.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Yep.
You know what I mean? After then, motherfuckers got soft, and when they got soft on the kids, that's what happened. What did it say? Spare the rod, spoil the child. That's what happened.
Yo, my mother had the best saying. To this day, it still freaks me the fuck out when I hear it, and then the only one to hear it, the only one to say it ever is like people in my family. My mother used to say this shit. Like, you come home, something got fucked up. She goes, oh, I don't have, and this is the worst. I don't have time to beat your ass right now, but when I get you, I'm going to get you for new and for old. I'm like, new and for old? Man, dude, I was 17 before I figured that shit out. New and for old, for those of you that don't know.
You have a credit balance.
Right, exactly. The new shit was, okay, it's Thursday. I meant to beat your ass on Tuesday, so I still owe you for at least one or two ass whoopings.
And then there's some interest in there too. You know what I mean?
That was the old shit. The new shit was what you did right now, and I got time to pay you back for everything I owe you. So that was like some extra. That was the quantitative value of ass whooping that Generation X kids had to deal with. Like, not only do you get your ass beat, but you had to do math to figure out.
And on top of that, even when they found out later on after they whooped your ass that you didn't do it, then they said, you know what? that was for some shit that you did that I ain't even know you done yet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know.
Oh,
So
man.
I remember many a fucking day. I'm sitting up in there, and my mama walking there with that motherfucking belt, and my goddamn knees shaking like drugstore dice. Because I'm sitting there wondering what the fuck did I done? Because I know it's getting ready to come. Shit getting ready to get real up in this bitch. You know what I mean? I already know it's what it's gonna happen. But what happened though? Fast forward. Now what happened? Can't nobody get no ass whooping. You in the military and you in your fucking feelings. You pop out a fucking car and say, hey, you talking too much shit to me. You know what I mean? Think about this shit, man. This is what's this right here. This is what's killing America. So you think about it. When we get older and it's time for us to draw a little social security and shit, and we sitting there waiting on our kids because our kids is the fucking future. Guess what? We are fucked up because that shit. Because these motherfuckers sensitive to the motherfucker, and we know it. It is. That's just what it is. It's fuck.
These new kids. Well, look, the one thing I will say, and I believe this wholeheartedly. So we came up as Generation X. How the fuck? And I think it's some of our trauma and fucked up in this from being Generation X that somehow we produce this generation of kids that's softer than drugstore cotton. And I'm like, how the fuck is it that it's confusing? See, like in my case, thank God, I come from a Marine Corps family, so my nephews and them, they straight. Thank God. I swear to God, I thank God for that all the time. That the pussification of America did not infiltrate to my nephews. Now with my daughters and them, my daughters and my nieces, they're girls. So it's like in my family. Okay, so here's what happened in my family. If you're a boy child, you're born. You learn how to walk. You eat some food for a few years. You go to school and like that, and then by the time you're ready to get out of school, your ass goes into Marine Corps for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, 50 years, whatever the fuck it is. And that's what you do. If you're a boy child in my family. If you're a girl child in okay, well, actually, I have no clue what the fucking girl child in my family do, but they don't do that. They do something different. But whatever they do seems to fucking work because they're all like superstars, captain of the industries and all that bullshit. But and they often say, my sisters often say like, little get together, family reunion, whatever. They look at me and my brothers. Every one of us is in a motorcycle club. Every one of us is a little bit, like this. And my sisters often say, how the hell did we grow up in the same damn house? Like, I don't get it. What the fuck? Anyway, so we had last week, or not last week, but there was a question that I had thrown out. I think it was on the Big Boneyard. And the question was, it was about money, a man with money, how he can change a broke bitch. And a woman with money, she won't even look at a broke dude. So we got a lot of responses to that. That was one of the questions that they asked us to raise tonight on the show. And I looked at that again as the TV shit versus the real life shit. So here's what I say. I'll tell you a little bit about what she said too. She said she thinks that women bikers are learning, because we were talking from a biker's
angle
aspect, and she was saying that she thinks that the biker women are learning that there is more to relationships with her biker than money, or her, either him spending the money or her spending the money. She goes, however, she's also witnessed when men become insecure when his lady is making the money and buying his bike and paying his bills and paying his insurance, especially these bikers when these bros hit their 40s and older. I was like, it had me to thinking. So my little take on that is this. So bikers are biker. But we all know that that one bro, 2 bros, 20 bros who the title to his bike is in his. Actually, we talked about this a little bit on the other week, but we all know that dude who the bike's in the old lady's name, right? We know that. I don't see a lot of dudes being real fucked up about that, unless, of course, like in the last time we was talking about it, unless she says, fuck this, I'm going to take my toys and go home. I think is the way you put it, Archbishop. But outside of that, I don't see that a whole hell of a lot as far as, but I know back in the day, it was that woman, she was going to hold that man down. He was out there doing his biker shit. She was going to hold him down. Now they have a falling out. There's lawyers involved, and every other weekend she's taking the bike back. What the fuck happened to make all of that part of the biker experience different?
Here's something that it's very true. And this is something that take it with a grain of salt. Okay. But men make money to be dependent. and then women make money to be independent. It's just unfortunately men are naturally want to it's in our fucking blood to supply you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're here to make your world better. We're here to make a perfect life for you.
Right.
And women, unfortunately, when they make their money, they're thinking about what they're going to buy for themselves, what they're going to buy for the kids, whatever, but they're not thinking about us. The hell?
Right.
That's not happening.
Chris Rock said the only that men, the only people that are loved unconditionally are women, children, and puppies.
Yep.
Right? That's it.
Men are not
And men,
loved
we're
unconditionally.
loved based on what we can provide.
We're loved conditionally. Correct.
Conditionally. Absolutely. There's a condition.
I mean, that's just like you say in the Bible that the Lord bless babies and fools. You know what I mean? Same thing.
Yep.
Now, that the Lord bless babies and fools. Doesn't say anything about men. Don't say about my women. Say babies.
Yeah,
now,
we was left
here's
out of that word.
Now, the difference is now, I don't care if she make more money than me. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Because you think if I'm making $50 and she making $100, then we just made $150.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't give a damn about what she making. You know what I'm saying? If her check fat, I don't care. Give me a couple dollars. Shit. You know what I mean? Now here's the thing. Now this is what I found that went on during the bike set. And I done been on both sides so I can speak on this. My first wife had nothing to do with the bike scene whatsoever. Didn't know shit about no motorcycles, no nothing. And I called hell every time I went out because she didn't understand what we was doing. You know what I mean? Why y'all out here running around? Everybody out here drinking and smoking weed and this. And you out here with all these bitches and blah, 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 blah. No, that wasn't even what I was doing. But that's what I was doing to her.
Right. You weren't focused on that shit, but you kind of were, you know. I got you.
Now, then later on, fast forward, when I got with somebody that was actually on the MC scene, they understood that part of it. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit better. But then you run into the women that, you know, mind you, if you in a relationship, then it's, of course, everybody says that it's 50-50. Or you hear these ones that say, well, you know what I mean, I'll match your energy, which is bullshit. And I'll get into that in a minute.
Right.
But, you know, then you have these ones that this is the women that I've seen that she knew that she made more money than you and she was helping you out with this, that, and the third. And then the first time she got mad at you, she made sure that you remembered that that's what she did.
Ooh, yeah. Gotcha.
That's the shit that pisses the dude off the most. It ain't the fact about you making the money. Don't throw the shit up in my face that you make.
Ever.
You know?
Right.
Now you trying to belittle me. Now, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you know, I'm still the head of this fucking household. Don't put that shit to where we even. You know what I mean? To where me and you doing this like we in competition. We're not in competition.
The problem is
role in that.
Well, these women are taught to be independent. You got to remember that. These women are literally being raised to be independent. They're not being taught by their mothers how to become a good wife. That's not happening anymore.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let's say in American culture, that's what's going on now.
And the Western civilization.
Right. It's different now than it used to be because a lot of women, I think, and some men too, they get confused that a woman who is raised to appreciate, I mean, she has options. Don't get me wrong. She can, you know, go the career path and all like that and say, fuck motherhood and being a wife and all like that. You could do that. But if you elect to go in the direction of, hey, I'm going to get married to this dude, he's on the set, blah, 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 all of that's fine. But if you do, know what you signed up for. And the ideology of being independent versus dependent, a woman, if she's playing her role, she's not even dependent. She's just playing her role. The woman who is doing her own thing and making bunches of money and all like that, she might feel that she's independent. But what did independency do to that? That was the bullshit that was sold to black women in the 70s, like, hey, we're gonna give you some money, but you better not have no man in the house. That just destroyed the family structure that had been strong as hell from the beginning of time. They wiped it out with a little bit of money, not even a lot of money, a little bit of money. And they destroyed that shit. So you have these women that are conditioned to think that I don't need no man. Guess what? And those women consistently with it, I don't need no man.
Well, they'll continue being single for the rest of their life. They'll continue being the sex only category,
or they're
and
horrible,
that's okay.
They're horrible fucking partners. I mean, and if you think about it, those women who have that attitude, they literally are eroding the fabric of America. And
agree.
I'm not saying that she ought to be with some dude who's treating her bad and beating her ass and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that there's nothing. Being a wife and a mother is a respectable sort of a thing. Being a good wife is a respectable sort of a thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. But women get sold this fantasy about being independent, and it's that way of thinking that tears shit apart. It really has, on so many different levels. You know, it's like somebody mentioned in one of the comments on the Bigbone on the Facebook page that, you know, the thing about the set for the most part is that, you know, like especially in a legit club, this is the place where men are men and women are glad about it, because they're sick of the man buns and the skinny jeans and the, you know, let's talk about my feelings and all that kind of shit. You know, no, you know, she wants that man to be the fucking leader and the man of the house. You know what I mean? Especially if she's out there and she's got one of those, you know, the big time important jobs where she's the boss all the time. She wants to come home, let her hair down, and be a fucking woman and made to enjoy being a woman, right? But hey, guess what? Now you got these real fucked up dudes who they're so damn pussyfied that they have bought into that bullshit that they sold them on TV or through the media or whatever the fuck, and they buy into that shit. They're kissing her ass and she's the boss and this, that, and other thing, and she's barking orders at him and he's jumping through hoops and he's being just a straight bitch. Like, more not like a regular woman, but he's being a bitch, right? And and guess what she's gonna do? She's gonna continue to treat him like a bitch. She's not gonna have any respect for him. And the first time fucking Mandingo over there, she runs into him at the break room at work. She's fucking Mandingo, and every time she goes home, she's gonna look at Ward Cleaver over there with a great amount of resentment. Like, fuck, I married this waste of space. Damn, you know. Like, he don't even have a Harley. All right, I had to throw that one in there.
Hey, that's true. There you go.
I'm telling you. That's why women say, oh, women like bad boys. No, they like men. They like men. That's what it is. They like men.
Right. Just the ones who do grown man shit.
Yeah.
What was that one before then? What was that? That one right there. What did it say?
It said, I hate having to protect and do both roles, but I haven't found a man whom I can submit to. I respect God's structure of a home, but I'm not handing that over.
Okay, I agree on that, because not every man is deserving of that. Okay, you've got a lot of bitch motherfuckers out here that do not deserve for you to be submitting to. Okay, there's a difference between the boys and the men that play out here. There's the difference, and it's evident who is the boy and the man. That's it.
Oh yeah,
you know who you're talking to.
Now, L Bell 2 Heart W, and you got to tell me how to say that. But she said, I'm certain that all three of you would teach your daughters to change oil, tires, etc. That's not teaching them to disrespect the position of a woman and a man in a relationship. Absolutely not. That's teaching her to be capable. Nothing wrong with teaching them stuff.
I'm gonna tell you why that's not disrespect. Because most of these young dudes these days can't even fucking do that. You know?
So, you just said it.
You know what I mean? Gonna be like, where he at? Oh, he don't know what he doing. You know what I mean? So you got to go over and do it. So yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, my kids know how to change their oil. They know how to change their tire. They know how to hunt. They know how to fish. They know how to camp. They know how to do all that shit. And the reason why is because, you know, the old saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, he'll feed himself for a lifetime.
Yep.
So this is the shit that you teach your kids, so that yes, they do have that independence that they can do that, but not now to my girls. It's like, okay, you're not dependent on a man to take care of you, you know how to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Not saying that if you're in a relationship with a man, of course, if he's doing what he's supposed to do, then you know that he does this and you do this. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference there. You don't have to compete. It's not a competition. It's a unity partnership. You know what I mean?
I can't do it.
Oh, go ahead. You know what I mean? So even though that you teaching them this stuff, this is stuff this is life lessons. This is stuff that you're gonna be able to teach somebody else, or that you gotta teach your children. You know what I mean? Because something that I mean, your old man may not know how to change it, or he used to go in a Jiffy Lube, but you're like, oh shit, I know how to do this. Let me show you. Go get the oil. I got you. I got this. You know what I mean?
And let me tell you, either or, whether it's the girl that's being able to change her own oil, or the guy that's able to change that tire, whoever did that is looked upon in a different light. Mike Ball, you said a little earlier, you mentioned about competition. I never want to be in a competition with my woman about anything, especially money. And without saying too much, so yeah, I do all right. And but if I didn't, and at times in which I didn't, I wasn't fucked up if my old lady brought home as much money as I did 1 week or 1 month or whatever. That was, hey, we was in that together, so that was always cool. I had no problem with it. But no matter what the situation is, I don't want no competition with my woman about shit. But in regard to what you were saying, AB, Lord of mercy, you hit the nail on the head. Like, it's so many of these young cats, I can't begin to tell you. Years ago, I knew somebody, and her kid, right hand of God, didn't know how to put gas in the car that he was driving all the time. He was driving the car before he even had a license, and didn't know how to put oil in the car, change a tire, put gas in the car, nothing. I was shocked when I learned that this 17-year-old didn't know how to do any of those things. Only thing he knew how to do was get in the car and drive it. I was shocked because I was there. The first time the call came in, hey, this light's on and I think the gas is low. How do I do that? Can you, actually it was, can you come here and help me? I was like, get the ever-loving fuck out of here right now. I was shocked, but coming from Generation X in my brain, I could do that shit at 7 years old.
Yeah.
Why is somebody 10 years my senior, at the time, 10 years my senior, not? And we're all advanced in 2000, what was that? Like, that was in 2012 or whatever the fuck. But anyway, I'll shut the fuck up about that. It was one more thing that I wanted us to touch on. So the biker TV versus the real life shit. And I wanted to ask you, Mike, because I think you're a little younger than me and AB, not by much, because we're.
Oh yeah, no, I'm down there, man. I graduated in the 2000s, so obviously, I graduated 2013, so I'm class of 2013, man.
Hell yeah, okay. So when you came on and see, the problem with you is that you're chronologically of a certain age, but you have an old soul, and I think that's because you died like umpteen times. If you quit dying all the time,
you stop dying, you'll stop aging.
Yeah, I know you got like that Benjamin Button shit going on. But what kind of shit do you see? Like, and because you've seen the biker movies and stuff like that. What's the big difference between the biker movies that you saw once upon a time and what you saw in real life on the set?
Yeah, it's two completely worlds. They're two completely different worlds. It's you got entertainment, and then you've got real life. And entertainment and real life doesn't always align. Obviously, it's entertainment, and it's supposed to be taken as such. You know what I mean? And I hate when people go, "Oh, well, they're bringing terrible people, or they're bringing the wrong attention." Blah blah blah. Yes and no. They're also bringing in a lot of good people into the scene and bringing, there's that people too. There's a large people that actually are getting a lot of that, whether it be from shows, entertainment, whether it be us on YouTube. It's all sorts of entertainment stuff like this that but this is definitely educational difference. But compared to the biker set, the real life shit, like what we're talking about, compared to like the movies, obviously it's night and day. This is not the 60s, and we're not doing some crazy shit in the 70s anymore like that. So listen, you cannot get away with killing that many FBI guys and bombing that many buildings and killing that many cops without
living in Florida.
Well, you'd have to be at least in Florida. You have to at least be there because that's our only way of getting, past that point. But yeah, no, the difference is major, and it needs to be known that there is a difference and there is a good side on this whole shit because it actually teaches you how to become a better and better man. Because here's the thing is like when I was growing up, I actually didn't get along with my peers. I was always hanging around with the older cats, always. And so like to this day, like I was like 18 years old, man. And my best friends were in their 50s and 60s. No joke. Like that's just how it was. And those were the people that I could actually talk to and have a good conversation with. The rest of the people I was chatting it up with, I'm like, dude, there is zero value here. You know what I mean? There's nothing for me here, and that's okay, but for me, it wasn't for me, that kind of thinking or whatever. I wanted to learn a different, from what I was seeing. Cause I'm getting I'm getting the POV. Okay. I'm getting it from my point of view, growing up in the same high school with all these people, right? I'm watching everyone move. And then I'm going, I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? And I already had my own path already driven. I was all about knowing exactly where I was going to go. But way out, I mean, people didn't even know what they were going to do after school. Like the day they were graduating, they didn't know what they were doing. I knew what I was doing like 10 years prior to even going to school. You know what I mean? I grew up knowing what I was going to do. And I think that taught me a big difference of listening and hearing out. There's a reason why we have 2 ears and one mouth. We're supposed to be listening more than we're talking, but there's a lot of people that love to talk the talk because unfortunately, if they have nothing better to offer, then that's the only thing they can offer. Well, they're going to try anyways. Right. So, and I think that's also something that's brought a big illusion into this world is social media. Social media is a big key in this because it has put a big thing of like, everything is about me. Okay. Everything is about me. This social media post is about me. This is me. This is me. This is me. This is me. Okay. We didn't do that shit. 30, 40 years ago, that never happened. No one was clicking video and all about me. And then you put American hustle culture. That's what this is hustle culture. And then you wonder why people are about themselves.
Yeah. It's very, very different. We get a lot of I think there's been a great rise in what's that word? The narcissism. I think that narcissism has been ingrained in the culture today. And so people are actually taught, women are taught there's all this stuff. But narcissism and selfishness those are traits that are valued now. Like, for example, I remember like when I was a kid, I'm going to piss all kinds of people off with this one. But I remember when I was a kid, there was this thing about if a woman was a single mom and she had a kid, they were like, oh, her husband must have died or something, maybe he was in the military or something like that, is the assumption that people had when a woman was single with a kid, or especially if she had 2 kids, right? But in real life, even if they knew that she was divorced, people would try to make the excuse because they liked her and she was a decent woman and they didn't want to put the stigma of being a single mom on her. Whereas now, chicks, to go to the opposite extreme, in 2023, there's these chicks that'll have 2, 3, not 2, 2's no big deal, but 3, 4, 5 kids with 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys, and it's just okay. And her flex is, I'm a single mom out here trying to make it. At what point did that shit become the flex? Right. The flex is, I got my shit. I'm holding down my shit right now. And, my husband, he's doing his job and I'm doing my job and we're doing our job together. Like being a couple used to be the flex. Raising your kids used to be the flex. And, don't get me wrong. The world is not a perfect place. And I'm not, I have no illusions about the fact that people don't break up. I mean, that shit happens, right? But women used to hold themselves in such high regard that they wasn't cranking out fucking 5 different kids with 6 different guys and all this kind of shit, right? So don't go bragging about I'm the single mom. Hear me roar. Like the shit that pisses me off is come Father's Day and you see and they come from all up like give me a happy Father's Day card because I'm the father and the mother. No, you're not. There's a man that made that baby. Now, if you chose bad and he sucks, say that. You know, if you just got knocked up by some dude at a party and you don't even know who he is, say that. And if you did it 5 times, say that. But don't try to flex on everybody because you got a whole bunch of kids and don't know 2 of their daddies and you keeping the Maury show in business. That's crazy. But that's some shit that's changed from back in the day till now. It's different now.
It's very different.
But
I mean,
like
now keep that shit gangster, bro. For real. If you got 5 kids, 6 kids by 5, 6 baby daddies, okay. Let's just keep that shit where it is. You are not a father, you are an incubator. Let's keep that shit then too, you also gotta think, okay, if you have 5, 6 baby daddies, all 5, 6 of them baby daddies ain't fucked up. So if you ain't with none of them, your ass the problem. You the problem. It ain't always this dude. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and say, "Oh man, I'm just trying to find me a good dude." Well, shit, you got 6 motherfucking kids. You know what I mean? You had 6 tries to find one and ain't found one. Now what? You know what I mean? Them are the same ones now. They be like, "Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go get me a girlfriend now." Why?
Yeah. Men ain't shit.
You can't do the right shit. So now I'm gonna go over here and fuck up this shit over here too. You know what I mean? Pick a fucking struggle.
Well, this is exactly why we care about a woman's past so much as a woman cares about a man's future. You know what I mean? So there's the exact equivalent from male to female, and so that's where, it's unfortunate, but that is, and also within the whole landscape of this dating thing, also remember women only date up. If they're making this money, they got usually from the dating standpoint, you got to find that same money or more. If I got a bachelor's degree, he's better got a bachelor's degree or better. If I got a master's, he's got to have a master's degree. It gets crazy out here in this world.
But here's the thing: men don't do that. That was in that
exactly.
Men, we'll find a chick. She could be, poor, broke, down and out. If she's hot. She checked out every box that we had because we really only had one. She's hot. I think I like her. That's my girl. A woman, on the other hand, and just depending on which class she is, because you got some of these, like I'll say it like this, you got some of these the ghetto girls, oh, so he's a weed man, so that's her aspiration. She hooked up with the weed man.
And she needs some weed, man.
Yeah, that's her goal, and she met it.
She needed it.
But let me tell you, she would have skipped over 10 good dudes who got a good job and a good future and all like this. And maybe he's not at 6 figures yet, but he's upwardly mobile and he's gonna do some stuff. But because he's not out in them streets, she ain't gonna fuck with him. If it wasn't for that mentality, half the bikers I know wouldn't have a girlfriend or wife or nothing. Because they
ain't got no other game other than their bike.
Right. They got the bike. And God forbid if they get a bike and a patch. Oh, what?
Yeah.
What? Oh, he's in there.
But though, for real though, Bone, now we done ran these streets for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, now we done ran these streets. We done shared the covers with a lot of motherfuckers. I ain't even gonna put my number out there because I got Chamberlain numbers out this bitch. I ain't about the front now. But what I am saying is this: there's 2 different types. You know what I mean? Men run on emotion where women run on feeling.
Right.
So a man can sit there and he can go through 500 women and not give a fuck about stuff. You know what I mean? A woman will have feelings for 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? but she'll settle for one out of them three because it's always going to be one that no matter who all she been with, if that one shows up, I'm dropping everything for that motherfucker right there. That motherfucker right there is the one I want. Man. Guys on the other hand be like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about none of these. And you just run this, and you're not gonna bring one home because you, even though you may have sampled everything else out there, you gonna still try to find the one that has that substance that you're gonna bring home.
When it checks the boxes. If she
but
checks
the thing
boxes,
is that's what women forget though, is that men decide who gets in a relationship. Women decide who they have sex with. That's it.
Right.
We decide who we commit to. So I don't know why they treat us like shit. You know, that's it's odd, but whatever.
That's it. I'm telling you. Well, fellas, I tell you what, we've been at it for an hour and 40, and this has been good. And I think we kind of sort of hit on the biker TV versus biker real life.
We brought a few topics up.
We hit on all kind of shit.
Yeah. You know,
we're all over, man. We can cover it all.
I swear to you, I think that's the magic. If that's the, I don't want to be too damn presumptuous, but I think that's the magic of what we do on the Big Boneyard is that we get to do that. We get to go in all kinds of different directions. And it's always, so on day one, the idea was what if you was a fly on the wall and you was at the clubhouse and some bikers was just talking shit about whatever the fuck they was talking about? Wouldn't it be cool to hear that? So that's what the Big Boneyard is, and I think that's what that's that magic secret sauce or whatever the fuck they call it. But I wanted to take a minute to just say, first of all, Mike Ball, brother, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Oh, and man, it's an honor, man. Seriously, thank you guys.
Nasty, all kinds of questions and shit, and
it is what it is, man. I'm used to it.
And look, we appreciate it, and I know the folks out there, the boneheads, definitely appreciate it. And so yeah, man, keep fucking with us, man.
I appreciate it.
But we're gonna wait. Damn it! Now I got to do math. Hold on.
Yes, it's 6 days.
What he said.
6 days. Oh wait, here we go. There you go. I did a double for you.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so 6 days. I think we're gonna do it again. But yeah, Mike Ball, thanks again for being here. Did you want to say anything to these boneheads out here, man?
Much love and respect for every one of you guys for sitting here and tuning in with all of us here, hearing all of our stories and what I've got to say, what they've got to say. Some of the most amazing people I've met has been actually through this type shit right here. And I'm going to be really real. You guys have seen me through a lot of channels, and these channels that I'm all through obviously are all the ones that have stayed, right? There's a reason for that. And I know who is about this shit for real. And that's, and vice versa. Obviously I can't be allotted on a show if they don't see the real in me. So I very much appreciate you guys. I very much appreciate everyone in the chat that was listening. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night, man. Appreciate you guys.
Right on, man. Hey, Archbishop. Now I know you were saying just the other day, the next bonehead that walks up to you while you're having dinner at that expensive ass steakhouse, you're gonna punch. No, wait, we weren't supposed. No, I'm just playing. Hey, man, holler at the folks, man. And tell them about AB Diamonds.
Oh yeah, I will. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Like I said, we do this every week for you guys. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep pushing it like we've been pushing it because we're trying to. Like I said, this is our family here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep it like that. Yeah, for everybody else, like I said, we're doing this. I'm doing this other things called AB Diamonds. Now that's gonna end up changing later on because we're gonna do. If those of you who don't know that's tuned in now, we're gonna be doing another show, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be some biker shit. It's gonna be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything put in together. But it's gonna be, we're gonna do this one day, and then another day we're gonna be doing this. You know what I mean? So, but we're gonna start out on this channel here because what we're trying to do on this channel here is get the subscriptions up to where we'll be able to throw another show onto here. So go on AB Diamonds on YouTube. Go on there, hit the subscribe button. Tell your people hit the subscribe button because we're gonna pump another show out here, and this show over here is gonna be just as thick as this show here. So if you like what we're doing on Sunday, we're gonna hit it back on a Monday and bam, and hit you on some more shit. So go on that, hit AB Diamonds, hit that subscribe button because we're gonna kick it all over again the next day on some more shit.
Right on. That's what's up. And I got to tell y'all, y'all already know I appreciate the hell out of y'all. If you're watching, if you're still with us watching right now, hit the like button. Even if you hadn't did it, it takes about damn math again, about 2 seconds or less to hit the like button. Take a second or two to subscribe, but most importantly, share this program, this show. If you liked it, share it and hit it, like on your social media. Just hit the share button, put it out there. Let some folks know about this because, we're trying to do the damn thing. We're trying to get the good word out there. But in the meantime, I got to tell y'all, as always, I'm Bigbone 1%er. For myself, Archbishop Mike Ball, we appreciate all of y'all being here with us. Y'all take this ride with us every week. And we're going to be doing it again in about 6 days. But other than that, love and respect to all of y'all. And we'll see y'all again soon on the Big Bone Yard. Y'all, peace out.
Welcome to the Big Bone Yard. Enter at your own risk.
Pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.